Hello everybody, my name is Cuddline3639. Welcome back to another video. Today in this one we're going to be doing another card analysis video, and in this one we're going to be covering the new Flundereeze Archetype that's coming out in Burst of Destiny, which actually does not have an official TCG release date, but oh boy, this archetype has, oh my god, has so much potential. I read the archetype for the first time like a couple hours ago when I woke up. That's why the bed is still messed up, and I was like, gotta do a video on this. Holy shit, these cards are pretty fucking ridiculous. I was actually going to do my ban list prediction today, but then I read this, and I'm like, nope, gotta cover this today. We'll do the ban list prediction tomorrow. If you want to see that, subscribe so that you don't miss out. But yeah, very interesting. They're all winged beast monsters that don't have to special summon themselves. They actually hate to special summon because they're locked themselves out of special summoning, but they can normal summon a shit ton. I'm going a little too much into it. Without further ado, let's actually get into the card by card. Alrighty, now on to the card by card here. They have 10 cards in this archetype that's already been revealed. There's a couple extra stuff that I'll cover down in a little bit. Without further ado, let's actually cover the Flundereeze card. So we're going to start off with Flundereeze Eagle, which is a level 1 wing beast monster, which its effect is you can only use the first and third effect of this card once per turn, and then also you cannot special summon the turn you activate either of those effects. So if this card is normal summon, you can add one level 7 or higher wing beast monster from your deck to your hand. Then immediately after this effect's resolve, normal summon one wing beast monster. So basically very good stuff. So you can add one of their boss monsters, which we'll get into in just 1 second. Then immediately after, just normal summon any card. It doesn't need to be the level 7 or not. Second effect is if this card leaves the field, it's banished instead. So there's that. And then the third one, if a wing beast monster is normal summoned to your field while this card is banished, add this card to your hand. So basically, if you can get this card banished somehow, you can just straight up add it back to your hand. A very good card here, being able to add a level 7 or higher. It can banish itself when it leaves the field. All the level 1s have that distinction. When it leaves the field, it gets banished instead. And then all of them also have the bottom effect of the wing beast monster. Normal summon, add this card from your banished area to your hand. All the level 1s will have that. So basically, only their first effects will be different between the cards. The rest of their effects should be the same, where they're locked out of special summoning. When they leave the field, it's banished instead. And if you normal summon a winged beast monster, you add it back to your hand from your banished area to your hand. So that's all the same for the level 1s, just their first effects will end up being different. Next one we have is Flundereeze Robinia, which is a water level 1 winged beast monster. Again, has the same restrictions. You cannot special summon the turn you activate the first or third effect. But if this card is a normal summon, you can add one level 4 or lower winged beast monster from your deck. Then immediately after this effect resolves, normal summon again. So basically, you have to add a level 4 or lower winged beast. It doesn't need to be any of the Flundereeze. If you end up finding a good strategy with winged beast somewhere else, you can end up adding that, normal summon that, get there, kind of things. Pretty good here. Again, it has the same second as third effect as all the other level 1s, where it's banished when it leaves the field, and then if you normal summon, you can add it back to hand as well. So very good. You can add a level 4 or lower pretty well. We have Flundereeze Stretch, which is also a water level 1 winged beast monster. Has the same special summon restrictions kind of thing. It's a top effect, but its only different effect here is if this card is normal summon, target one card in either graveyard, banish it, then immediately after this effect resolves, you can normal summon one winged beast monster from your hand. Very good, and that has the same second and third effect as the other two. So yeah, I mean, it's whatever. I mean, you do get to banish any card from either player's graveyard, which is very good, but it needs to have some sort of setup ability. It doesn't get you to add anything either, so it's like one of those things. But yeah, I guess it's okay for the archetype. It's just another level 1 you can go into. And then the last level 1 here is Flundereeze Tokan, a wind level 1 wing beast monster. Has the same special summon restriction, has the same second effect and third effect as all the other ones, but the first effect, which is the different one, if this card is normal summon, target one of your banished Flundereeze cards, add it to your hand, then immediately after this effect resolves, normal summon one winged beast. This is actually pretty good if you already have it set up where shit's already banished from the Flundereeze stuff. So that's actually okay if you already have the setup and stuff, because you can immediately after normal summon it once again. Very good. That's a very good card there. So that is it for the level 1s. Now on to I think, let me count here, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 level 10 boss monsters. There's 2 of them. Starting off with Flundereeze Impian, which is a wind level 10 wing beast monster. If this card is tribute summoned, you can add 1 Flundereeze spell or trap card from your deck to your hand. Then immediately after this effect resolves, normal summon 1 monster. Very, very, very good there. Yeah, it gets to add a spell or trap. That's actually just ridiculous. And then, second effect, while this tribute summon monster is on the field, your opponent special summons monsters in attack position cannot activate their effects. Very, very good there. There is a way to get around it to special summon in defense position, but, you know, there is that. And then if this card battles an opponent's monster during damage calculation, you can banish 1 card from your hand. That monster loses half its attack and defense becomes half until the end of this turn. So it has a kind of good protection effect during the battle phase. Because it has a 2700 attack. That's actually pretty decent. Then you can banish 1 card from your hand, and then attack and defense of that monster is battling loses half of it. So very, very, very good. And then the last monster for the Flundereeze archetype is Flundereeze Snow, which is a water level 10 winged beast monster. And then its effect is the first effect at least, is once per turn, a soft once per turn. If you control this tribute summon card, you can activate this effect. You can conduct 3 normal / sets this turn, not just 1. Okay, very interesting since this deck does like to normal summon a lot. And then its second effect, while this tribute summon monster is on the field, if your monster's attack defense position monster inflict piercing battle damage. Very, very good, especially since the level 10s do have high attack there. And then its third effect is once per opponent's turn, quick effect, you can banish 1 card from your hand, change all opponent's special summon monsters to face down defense position. Very, very good because you can, get that face. It's basically like a UTC type of effect there, so that's very, very good. So it, has a UTC type of effect. This is going to be really, really ridiculous kind of thing. Yeah, this basically just reminds me of the UTC from the Dinos. So yeah, this is going to be very good. But that is it for the monsters. Now let's get into the spells and traps. Starting off with their field spell, Flundereeze and the Mysterious Map. You can only activate the first and second effect of this card's name once per turn. Only has 2 effects. So the first effect is during your main phase, you can reveal 1 level 1 of Flundereeze monster from your hand. If you do, banish 1 Flundereeze card with a different name from your deck, then immediately after this effect resolves, noble summon that revealed monster. That's actually pretty good, because depending on what you reveal, let's say you revealed Tokan, and you can reveal Tokan, banish like something like Eaglin, noble summon Tokan, then add the Eaglin back to hand, stuff like that. That's very, very, very good there. So yeah, that's the first effect. And then the second effect, if your opponent normal summons a monster, immediately after the effect resolves, normal summon 1 Flundereeze monster. So yeah, it lets you get the normal summon once per turn kind of thing, or during either player's turn as well. That where stretch can come in as well when you have the field spell up. So yeah, that is the effect. It's not like the best field spell. The first effect does help it. The second effect is like, it's alright kind of thing. It's an okay field spell. I do like it for the archetype. But yes, still very good. And then it has a continuous spell, Flundereeze and the Unknown Wind. You can only use the second effect of this card name once per turn. So, its first effect, you can conduct a tribute summon that requires 2 tributes by sending 1 monster you control and 1 card your opponent. Whoa. Wait a minute, what the fuck? You can conduct 2 tribute summon by sending 1 monster you control and then just 1 card your opponent controls. That's any card. It doesn't need to be a monster. It doesn't need to be a spell or trap. It can be a spell or trap. It can be a trap. Holy shit. That's pretty ridiculous. I don't know if that's actually what it means by that. Maybe the person that created this card just accidentally put that. But holy shit, if that's the case, God, that's going to be ridiculous. Just send any card your opponent controls and you still get the normal summon that level 10 monster. Holy shit, that's very good. That's something to look out for. And then second effect, during your main phase, you can reveal 2 winged beast monsters from your hand, place them to the bottom of the deck in any order, then draw the same number of cards. And that's very good because you end up drawing like Stitch or something that's like, which seems worthless when you end up going first. You can just put Stitch to the bottom of the deck, draw 1, because it says up to 2, so that's pretty good. So this card is pretty good. This is something to look out for. That's pretty good. Now onto the trap cards here. Flundereeze in the City of Dreams. You can only use the second effect of this card name once per turn. Then it does have only 2 effects. During the main phase, immediately after this effect resolved, normal summon 1 level 4 or lower winged beast monster. So you can put this, flip this, so when you activate this card, because it's not a continuous spell or trap, it doesn't look like. So activate this card, normal summon 1 level 4 or lower winged beast monster. That seems okay. You can do that during your opponent's turn as well, just depending on what your hand looks like. Then number 2, and this is the one that's once per turn, if you tribute summon a level 7 or higher monster while this card is in your graveyard, you can banish this card, change all monsters in your opponent controls to face down. Wow, again, that's another pretty good effect. If you get a level 7 out onto the field, banish this card, get a level, basically just, what am I trying to say here? Basically change all monsters to face down defense position. That's still pretty good. That's still pretty good. That's an okay trap right there. That's very good. And then the counter trap. Now, I've already read this card, and holy shit, this card is fucking ridiculous. And the reason why this archetype is going to see play, I mean, it's always going to see play because you can play Floodgates with it. But holy shit, this card right here is ridiculous. And you can search it. Remember, you can search this card with Empion. Just remember that when I read you the effect. This card, you can only activate one card with this card names per turn. Okay. If you control a tribute summon monster and no special summon monsters, oh my god, my bad. Let me read that. If you control a face-up tribute summoned monster and no special summon monsters, and your opponent would special summon a monster, your opponent cannot special summon monsters for the rest of the turn, but they can conduct 3 normal summons, not just 1. Also negate the summon, and if you do, return it to the hand. Now, that thing is ridiculous. Against a really special summon heavy kind of meta we're in right now, imagine this against Tribagage. I'm going to use Tribagage as an example. Let's say they try to summon like Karas or something like that. You activate this. You send Karas back. My bad. This actually might not be something for Karas. No. Karas, this would work against Karas. They would have to send Karas back. Cannot special summon for the rest of the turn. They can normal summon 3 times, which is like, depending on the deck, is okay. But against Tribagage, you can normal summon your Tribagage monsters. They can't go into the Link monsters, because that is special summoning. So that's really good. Something against Drytron could also work, because if you do Drytron, if you just activate this against Drytron, they basically have to fold, because they control no normal summon monsters besides Diviner, and that's it. This is going to be a ridiculous card. And this is generic as well. This can also go for True Draco. This can go for Monarchs as well. Like, holy shit, this is going to be a ridiculous card. Now, it's going to be good in this archetype because you can actually search it with Empion, because Empion can add 1 spell, Flundereeze spell or trap, so you can just end up adding the counter trap. And it's a counter trap, so it's very hard to stop. Because the only things that can stop it is other counter traps. Things like Solemn Judgment, for example, is like the only card I can think of off the top of my head that can stop this card. So holy shit, that is going to be ridiculous. Now that is it for the deck. This card here, Wing Rickroll, I have in here because this is actually going to be very good for this archetype as well. Because if as you can read, this actually comes out in Animation Chronicle. So this actually comes out, I think Animation Chronicle is going to come out before Burst of something, I forgot what it's called. But this card is ridiculous because you control 2 or more monsters with different names and only control Winged Beast monsters, pay 600, draw 2 cards. That is ridiculous. Holy shit. Basically a pot of greed for paying 600 life points. Holy shit, that's going to be ridiculous in this deck as well. And then we can go down to the side deck here. I have a shit ton of Floodgates that can work for this archetype as well. Lose 1 turn can be absolutely ridiculous. Activate only if you control no special summon monsters. While a monster is face up on the field, negates effects during the turn it was special summon, and affect monsters that are special summon in attack position, change it to the defense position. Basically, very good Floodgate. It negates any special summons kind of thing and stuff like that. And the Band Played On is another good Floodgate here. Neither player can special summon monsters with the same level as they control. Neither player can special summon monsters with the same rank as they control. Now, this is, I think lose 1 turn is probably better than in the Band Played On. You can play Macro Cosmos and Dimensional Fissure in here because, honestly, the deck doesn't matter if it ends up banishing their cards. All the monsters end up getting banished anyway, so who really cares? Imperial Order seems very good because it doesn't have that many spells or traps in their deck. And then Dimensional Shifter, just as a good hand trap, can also be very good for the archetype. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into what are my opinions on the deck is. So, is the new Flundereeze Archetype good? Yes. Oh, yes. This could be the next meta deck. Yes. Holy shit. This has so much plays. Now, it does lock itself out of special summoning, but it can normal summon a shit ton of times, so that's not really that much of a problem. Holy shit. This card and then the counter trap as well could be very good. It can play a shit ton of Floodgates alongside with it. This could be very powerful. This counter trap right here, I know you can't see it. This counter trap right here is absolutely ridiculous. It's going to see play in other like Monarchs and True Draco decks as well. Holy shit, this deck is going to be something. I can't wait until it comes out and people figure out what to put in the deck and stuff. This deck is looking pretty ridiculous right now, though, being able to play Floodgates and stuff like that. So yeah, that's going to be very interesting to look out for, but that is it for the video. I hope you guys did enjoy the video. If you did, leave a like and subscribe for more content on the channel. I do upload every single day, except for Saturday and Sunday. I hope to see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.